Stephen Joseph Scalise, Scalise, born October 6, 1965, is the current United States House of Representatives Majority Whip and Representative for Louisiana's 1st Congressional District, serving since 2008. He is a member of the Republican Party and was the chairman of the conservative House Republican Study Committee. Prior to his congressional tenure, Scalise served for 4 months in the Louisiana State Senate and 12 years in the Louisiana House of Representatives. On June 19, 2014, Scalise was elected by his Republican colleagues to serve as Majority Whip of the United States House of Representatives. He assumed office on August 1. He is the first Louisianian in the Majority Whip's position since Democrat Hale Boggs of Louisiana's 2nd Congressional District held the position from 1962 to 1971. In 2017, Scalise became the dean of the Louisiana Congressional Delegation upon the retirement of former Senator David Vitter. On June 14, 2017, Scalise was shot at a practice session for the Congressional baseball team in Virginia. Later that day, Scalise was reported to be in critical condition. Personal life Scalise was born in New Orleans, one of 3 children of Alfred Joseph Scalise, a real estate broker who died on October 8, 2015, at the age of 77, and the former Carol Shalechi. His siblings are Glenn and Tara Scalise. Scalise graduated from Archbishop Rummel High School in Metairie in Jefferson Parish and earned a Bachelor of Science degree from Louisiana State University in Baton Rouge, with a major in computer programming and a minor in political science. At Louisiana State University, Scalise was a member of the Acacia fraternity. He is a member of the American-Italian Renaissance Foundation. He married Jennifer Ann Scalise, née Latolle, on September 4, 2005. The couple has 2 children. Louisiana legislature After Republican State Representative Quentin D. Dastug made an unsuccessful bid for governor of Louisiana in the 1995 Republican primary, Scalise was recruited by state Republicans to run for his seat in the Louisiana House of Representatives, which he did, winning the election to it in 1995. Scalise was re-elected to the seat in 1995 and 1999, serving until 2003. His legislative peers named him to the House Appropriations Committee as the representative of the 1st Congressional District. Scalise opposed the 2002 Stelly Plan, a proposal by Lake Charles Representative Vic Stelly, since repealed, to reduce certain state sales taxes on food for home consumption and utilities in exchange for higher state income taxes. Scalise was elected in the October 20, 2007, nonpartisan blanket primary to the District 9 seat in the Louisiana Senate vacated by the term-limited Ken Hollis of Metairie. Scalise received 19,154 votes, 61%, in a 3-way contest. Fellow Republican Polly Thomas, an education professor at the University of New Orleans who subsequently won a special state house election in 2016, polled 8,948 votes, 29%. A Democrat, David Jarrett, polled 3,154 votes, 10%, in the heavily Republican-oriented district. Scalise was succeeded in the State House by his aide, Cameron Henry of Metairie, in the special election on November 4, 2008, to fill the remaining 3.5 years in Scalise's state Senate term. Conrad Apple defeated Polly Thomas, 21,853, 52.1%, to 20,065, 47.9%. Thomas had also lost the race for the seat in 2007 to Scalise. U.S. House of Representatives On being asked by the New Orleans Times-Picayune to assign Democrat Barack Obama a letter grade for Obama's first 100 days as president, Scalise awarded the new president an L for liberal. Committee assignments Committee on Energy and Commerce, Subcommittee on Communications and Technology, Subcommittee on Energy and Power, Subcommittee on Oversight and Investigations, Legislative History In 2011, Scalise became a co-sponsor of Bill H.R. 3261, otherwise known as the Stop Online Piracy Act, withdrawn January 23, 2012. As chairman of the Republican Study Committee, Scalise dismissed Derek Khanna, a committee staffer, in December 2012 because of pressure from content industry lobbyists after the study committee published a memo advocating copyright reform. In 2013, Scalise voted against reauthorizing the Violence Against Women Act. Also in 2013, Scalise sponsored a bill called the FCC Consolidated Reporting Act. The bill makes the Federal Communications Commission, FCC, consolidate several several of their reports into one report. Leadership race. In the aftermath of Rep. Eric Cantor's unexpected defeat by David Brett on June 10, 2014, Scalise launched a campaign to replace Rep. Kevin McCarthy in the position of Majority Whip of the House. McCarthy himself would replace Cantor as House Majority Leader. Scalise's ascent to leadership built on his come-from-behind win in 2012 to become chairman of the Republican Study Committee. Scalise subsequently won a three-way race for Whip, winning on the first ballot despite the efforts of fellow candidates Peter Roskam and Marlin Stutzman. He came under fire for using the assistance of a federal lobbyist, John Feehery, when hiring staff for the Majority Leader's press office. Since becoming Majority Whip, Scalise has delivered several public defeats for the Republicans on immigration, abortion, and education policy. Political stances. Scalise supported President Donald Trump's 2017 executive order to impose a temporary ban on entry to the U.S. to citizens of 7 Muslim-majority countries. He stated that it's very prudent to say, let's be careful about who comes into our country to make sure that they're not terrorists. Political campaigns. 2008 special election. In 2004, Scalise announced that he would run for the U.S. House but thereafter deferred to the preference of party leaders and supported Jindal, who won the position vacated by the successful U.S. senatorial candidate, David Vitter. In 2007, when Jindal was elected to the governorship of Louisiana, Scalise announced his intentions to seek the seat yet again. This time he received Republican Party backing. Scalise defended his poll from criticism by Burns. We were running a public opinion survey this week conducted by the largest Republican polling firm in the country, Public Opinion Strategies, conducted with a sample of 300 people, and it shows Scalise at 57%, Burns at 26% and undecided at 17%. The margin of error is 5.6%. We ran a fact-based public opinion survey, not a push poll. In the March 8, 2008, Republican primary, Scalise polled 16,799 votes, 48%. He went on to win the runoff election on April 5 against Burns, who received 9,631 votes, 28%. In the initial primary. In the May 3 general election, Scalise received 33,867 votes, 75.13%, to Democrat Gilda Reed's 10,142 ballots, 22.5%. Two minor candidates polled the remaining 2.36% of the vote. Reed was a favorite of organized labor and the Democratic constituency groups. The 1st District has been Republican since 1977, when Bob Livingston won a special election. Scalise was sworn in on May 7, 2008. 2008. In the regularly scheduled election, Scalise was re-elected over Democrat Jim Harlan, 66% to 34%. 2010. Scalise defeated the Democratic nominee, Myron Katz, and an independent, Arden Wells, in his 2010 bid for re-election. 2012. In June 2009, Scalise joined Dan Kyle, the former legislative auditor and the treasurer of the Louisiana GOP, as directors of a national presidential fundraising effort promoting Governor Jindal. According to Kyle, the group hoped to raise $60 million to persuade Jindal to seek the 2012 party nomination. Others on the committee include former state representative Woody Jenkins. Former Republican state senator Tom Shedler of Slidell had his name removed from the group, not because he opposes Jindal but because such fundraising activity could conflict with Shedler's role at the time as first assistant to Louisiana Secretary of State Jay Dardenne. In 2010, Shedler succeeded Dardenne as Secretary of State. In his own 2012 congressional race, Scalise prevailed with 193,490 votes, 66.6%, over 4 opponents, the strongest of which was the Democrat M.V. Vinnie Mendoza, who finished with 61,979 votes, 21.3%. A second Republican, Gary King, received 24,838 votes, 8.6%. Independent Arden Wells ran again and received 4,285 votes, 1.5%, in his second race against Scalise. 2016 presidential campaign. In the 2016 presidential elections, Steve Scalise endorsed Republican candidate Donald Trump, who would go on to win the presidency. European American Unity and Rights Organization Convention Speaker. In 2002, Scalise was a speaker at a convention for the European American Unity and Rights Organization, Euro, a group which was founded by David Duke. This was revealed in 2014, after political blogger Lamar White, Jr. uncovered anonymous comments from 2002 on Stormfront, a white supremacist website, which made reference to Scalise as a 2002 speaker at the convention. Scalise confirmed that he had spoken at the Euro conference in 2002 and stated at the time he did not know of the racist nature of the group. Scalise said he spoke about state tax legislation and that Euro was one of the many groups that I spoke to regarding this critical legislation, further stating that this is a group whose views I wholeheartedly condemn. Scalise apologized for speaking to the group, saying, "It was a mistake I regret, and I emphatically oppose the divisive racial and religious views groups like these hold." Various Louisiana politicians, including Republican Governor Bobby Jindal and Democratic Congressman Cedric Richmond, defended Scalise's character. Speaker of the House John Boehner voiced his continued confidence in Scalise as Majority Whip. Several Democratic members of Congress, as well as Mo Elliothy, a spokesperson for the Democratic National Committee, criticized Scalise, and challenged his statement that he was not aware of the group's affiliation with racism and anti-Semitism. Mark Potok of the Southern Poverty Law Center called upon Scalise to step down from his leadership position as Majority Whip. Shooting. On June 14, 2017, at 7:09 a.m. EDT, Scalise and 3 other people were shot and wounded by James T. Hodgkinson, who opened fire with a rifle during a baseball practice of the Republican team for the annual congressional baseball game. The practice was taking place at the Eugene Simpson baseball fields in the Delray neighborhood of Alexandria, Virginia. Scalise, the only member of Congress to be hit, was shot in the hip. Representative Mo Brooks, who was also at the practice, witnessed the attack and said he saw someone with a rifle behind the third base dugout. Brooks then heard Scalise scream from second base. Scalise crawled into right field, bleeding. Senator Jeff Flake and Representative Brad Wenstrup, a former combat surgeon, ran to assist Scalise after Hodgkinson was shot. Senator Rand Paul, also a witness, said he heard as many as 50 shots. At around 8 a.m. Scalise was reported to be in stable condition. By 9:45 a.m. he underwent surgery for his injuries and his condition was later stated to be critical. That evening, MedStar Washington Hospital Center confirmed that Scalise required further surgery to stabilize his condition. See also List of United States Congress members killed or wounded in office. References External links Congressman Steve Scalise official U.S. House site, Steve Scalise for Congress, Steve Scalise at DMOZ, appearances on C-SPAN, biography at the Biographical Directory of the United States Congress, profile at Project Vote Smart, financial information, federal office, at the Federal Election Commission, legislation sponsored at the Library of Congress.